Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to JWF Resurrection, the first JWF pay-per-view of the Ignition era. I am your host, Silver Spoon, joined by a man who's always ready to ignite. It's Captain Tibbs.
And we've got everything you need to make a perfect wrestling show. We got lights, we got people, we got pyro. It's all here for JWF Resurrection.
That is right, Tibbs, and we are starting off with a match that, let me tell you something, I know you got some personal stakes in, because this man coming to the ring right here, he almost wasn't a part of the company just a few short days ago.
I don't want to talk about it, Sills. I thought we said we wouldn't bring it up. I thought we said
Tibbs,
almost betrayal would go untalked about.
Well, Tibbs, what you were doing is known as corporate espionage. You went down to a certain unnamed company's headquarters. You brought the Hammerman, the Dylan, Hollywood Hulcher. You said it was a tryout for them. But unfortunately, the Hammerman impressed so much that the big man, the game as it were, gave him a contract guaranteed on the money side, on the dotted line. And the Hammerman rejected it. The Hammerman decided to stay here in JWF.
You have no idea how long I cried in his lap for that to happen. And he hugged me and he said he was never going anywhere else. And it made me feel so proud.
That's right, Tibbs, and you got to think a little bit of that. A little bit of that wanting to stay was to settle this score with this man. The individual known as the Rising Sun, the former JXT BS champion. Tibbs, it's Fomo-San.
Fomo-San, the enigma, the man, his hair's just always glowing, Sills. Is that natural?
That's his thing. You don't ask about it, from what I've been told.
Are those glow sticks?
Tibbs, no, what did I just say? You do not ask about the mohawk of the Fomo.
I just need to know, Sills. I need to know. Look at it. You can't stop looking at it.
Tibbs, let me get this back on track. This, of course, all started a few short weeks ago when Fomo-San came out and in the ultimate show of disrespect. He didn't assault the Hammerman. He didn't insult him backstage. All he said was that the Hammerman we've seen is not the true Hammerman, not the Hammerman of old. And he wanted that vicious nature from the masked man to come back. And Tibbs, let me tell you something. I think the Hammerman's ready to bring that fire tonight.
Well, I would hope so, Sills. Being as insulted as he was by Fomo-San, I would say,
Oh, wait a minute. Showing just the rigid nature, of Fomo-San, but that big hammer boot puts him down, and a senton. Hammerman has taken no prisoners tonight here on Ignition, or on Revolution, whatever.
Resurrection. That's it.
That's the name of the show, Tibbs. You're right.
Too many R's, Sills. And big hammer, we missed the hammer boot.
Well, that was a different hammer boot. That was a hammer boot into the turnbuckle, and then the double stomp to the chest. He might have picked that up from a few individuals down in Orlando.
This is really impressive energy from the Hammerman coming straight out the gate like this. He's just been knocking Fomo-San left and right. He's not giving Fomo-San any opportunities. This is the Hammerman that I love. This is the Hammerman.
Oh. But unfortunately misses that senton as Fomo gets the knees up, but you can see Hammerman coming right back at it, but Fomo with those big kicks. And Tibbs, we've seen in the past, those kicks, the suplexes of Fomo-San to be deadly. He was nearly the world heavyweight champion back at Expiration Chamber.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like they're having that much effect on the Hammerman at this point. It looks like Fomo-San's going to have to get a lot more kicks in, and the Hammerman's just not giving him that many opportunities tonight.
That's right. And Hammerman with a big right hand went for a kick. Fomo reverses it. As this match goes on, you can see Fomo starting to learn the ways of the Hammerman, but Hammerman reversing into that big bulldog. He's on the top rope, Tibbs, and he delivers it. The hammer leg drop early on. And oh, wait a minute. Hammerman opted to cause a little bit more punishment.
And he just...
Tibbs?
Oh.
You kept the boy, and I think someone's trying to take him back.
I don't... This is... I don't think this is legal. I don't think...
Oh, crucifix pin! Crucifix pin! 1, 2. Ooh, Hammerman barely kicking out at 2 there.
I'm gonna need to go talk to Paul for a second, so you just keep him entertained, Sills.
All right, well, big clothesline. Oh, Paul's coming over, it looks like. Wait, Paul's just watching the match now.
Paul, no, we can't do I'm sorry.
Ooh, went for a big kick for Fomo-San, but a larger kick levels him. But wait a minute. You can see him. The man who will only be referred to as Paul distracting Hammerman, but Hammerman with a big kick after that beautiful flip. And now let's see. Oh, wait a minute. What in the world? What is Hammerman thinking going to that top rope?
You can't hit Paul.
Oh, delivers a massive elbow drop to Paul. Hammerman saying, I don't need your money. I'm staying here in the JWF. What the fuck? He's taking apart the table.
I don't... Sills, this is just beautiful. This is poetry in fucking motion.
That's right. And oh God, Hammerman just wants to destroy Paul for some reason.
Get him. Hammer the game. Hammer smash the game. Hammer smash everything. This is what I want to see in a Hammerman match. Yes, hammer power bomb into the table. Do it. Do it right or into the... That's fine,
no,
too.
on the hardest part of the apron, and then just swings him around. But Fomo-San taking advantage with that big elbow to the skull. Went for the kick, but the Hammerman, he is incensed, but gets sent in to the guardrail for his troubles, Tibbs.
Oh, so... it may have let Fomo-San get the advantage, but I think that's exactly what Hammerman and I needed for some catharsis tonight already. And you know what? Now we're back to business as usual.
Hammerman just hit the Rising Sun suplex on Fomo-San. You gotta think that is some insult to injury for the man known as the Rising Sun, and then a second onto the game himself. Hammerman wisely breaking the count, though. Hammerman wants to end this match. He wants to make it pure. But, ooh, Fomo sends him into the table. Oh, but wait. Hammerman reverses big kick to the gut. But Fomo once again sends him in. Rib first, went for the big kick. Hammer reverses it. And, oh, Fomo lands directly on that table. Oh, what in the world is the Hammerman thinking here, Tibbs?
Oh, I think we're in for some mass destruction right here.
What? Oh my God! The Hammerman flying nearly 25 feet through the air, crashing through the body of Fomo-San. His ribs can be broken, his back can be smashed. How did Fomo-San reverse that so easily?
He just got back up like it was nothing, Sills. How did...
And then lands a massive headbutt, and you can see some blood pouring down the face of Fomo-San.
I'm a little amazed right now. You know, we're having some fun here with the Hammerman, talking about the great things he's doing. Oh, yeah. And then Fomo-San
goes for the pinfall off the splash. 1, 2. Oh, barely last minute kick out from Fomo-San. And the Rising Sun, he has been dominant in the past, but I think he has awoken a beast in the Hammerman. He challenged him to bring back out that vicious side he was known for, and he is getting the worst of it as he hits that Meteora. Hammerman to the top rope. Fomo in the center of the ring, and he's going after Paul. He takes down Paul. He's got Fomo-San locked and ready. And Tibbs, I think it might be all over but the hurting for the Rising Sun as he gets leveled with that big kick. Paul, stop it.
Paul, listen, don't make me...
Unfortunately, that distraction led to a suplex from the master of the back suplex, Fomo, and then a big kick of his own. And unfortunately, Tibbs, I think these distractions from the man that the Hammerman denied may prove to be the Hammerman's undoing, as Fomo is on that top rope and, went for the senton. But Hammerman gets the knees up. Did Paul put a chair in?
He threw a chair in. Paul threw a chair into the match. Paul did throw a chair into the match. The Hammerman was going to win this easily, and then Paul had to fuck it up. Please pin
That's
him.
right, but barely. You could see Fomo-San could just barely roll that shoulder over. Not really an emphatic kick out, but Hammerman looks poised. Hammerman looks ready to finish off Fomo with the hammer leg drop. Let's see that one more time. Sorry, the hammer boot, as it were. Goes for the pin, but Shibata was distracted with that chair too. Joe barely kicking out once again. Fomo-San showing some resiliency in this match. And Paul, stop.
Can we get some security down here? He's really not supposed to be here. Our insurance cannot cover what's happened to that man tonight.
Wait a minute. Fomo-San! Fomo is attacking Paul as well. Neither of these men want this individual at ringside as he delivers that big kick. Fomo-San looking poised and ready, climbing on the top rope, but Hammerman stops him at the pass.
This is what I love to see in my company. Solidarity to anybody trying to interfere, and nothing but ruthlessness in the ring.
Massive superplex. You can see the Hammerman struggling to get back up. But he has got Fomo, but Fomo's so far away, I don't know if Hammerman can, but he does! Hammer leg drop! Hammer leg drop! 2, 3!
I bet you didn't think you'd see a hammer fly tonight, did you, Paul? Did you? Hammerman forever! Hammerman wins! Hammerman's back, baby!
That's right, despite the best efforts from Paul, the man the Hammerman shunned just a few short nights ago, the Hammerman has come out victorious. But Tibbs, let me tell you something. This was a match that I think has earned the respect of Fomo-San. Fomo-San, he said that the Hammerman had lost his respect, that he was shilling for the audience. I saw no shilling tonight. I saw no fancy outfit from the Hammerman. This was pure, unadulterated hammer violence. And I think that he has earned the respect of Fomo.
Hammer violence is my favorite kind of violence, Sills. And this is why I love it.
He is going after Paul, making a statement to Paul and his entire enterprise. And Tibbs, I know you're about to be happy to see this as Paul's lined up for the big stomp from the Hammerman, and it looks like it is caved in the chest of the game, and that big boot takes him out.
This is what you get, Paul. This is what you get, Paul. You get the hammer. You want a real sledgehammer? There it is, baby!
Second stomp from the hammer, and now he's going after Fomo. Hammerman is incensed, Tibbs. I don't know if it's the presence of Paul at ringside, everything he's been going through between Fomo and this new contract that he was about to sign, but Hammerman is snapped.
This might be a little much, Sills. I think this is kind of... I think this is already crossing some lines, and
that guy's single, so call him up, ladies. You can see the Hammerman just screaming. Hello, everybody. This is everyone's favorite commentator, Silver Spoon, here to remind you that after the show, to go to patreon.com/a-load-of-BS. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, the JWF and all the other BS Network programs exist because of listeners like you, because of our lovely patrons over at patreon.com/a-load-of-BS. For the price of a cup of coffee a month, you can support the JWF. You can support them good old Fight Boys, Fun Fiction, a load of BS. You can support the entire network for just a few dollars a month. And of course, you get access to our exclusive Discord where you can help us make decisions. You'll get shouted out on a load of BS every single week. We got tons of perks waiting for you over at patreon.com/a-load-of-BS. All right, Tibbs, we move on from a match that was full of surprises, full of excitement, and full of violence to this match that, Tibbs, I'll be honest with you, it's going to be bringing you all of the same as these men, the wild-eyed Southern boys, seek to topple the War Wizards and win back their JWF Tag Team Championships.
The wild-eyed Southern boys came out. They were on top for a little while. They were defeating everyone left and right. They put the VWO in their dust, and then it all came crashing.
That's right. I mean, let's not forget the VWO Tag Team of the Year last year. And what was the first pay-per-view they were in? They were defeated by these two men at the beginning of the year. They destroyed the Tag Team of the Year instantly.
As a matter of fact, I believe they interrupted part of our Tibby Awards last year just for that.
That's right, but, of course, the War Wizards, some men that they knew from their days back in JXT, debuted and shocked the world when in their debut match at WrestlePalooza, climbed the ladders and claimed those JWF Tag Team Championships. And Tibbs, in any other day, I would give the War Wizards the edge. If this was a heck in a set, a last man standing, any type of match, I'd give them the edge. But tonight, this is not a wrestling match. This is an all-out bar brawl, which we know the Wild-Eyed Southern boys have some history in.
Very true, Sills. This is their bread and butter, as they would say. This is how they grew up fighting. This is how they know how to fight best. This is how they bested the VWO on at least one occasion. And this is how they've shown their dominance in these full-on, just bar brawls in the middle of our ring. But let's not discount the War Wizards, because you know what? The War Wizard, he's got a big coat, and you can carry a lot of weapons in that.
That is right, Tibbs.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following match is for the JWF Tag Team Championships. In the left corner, they are the team of Sam, the Beer Man Adams, and Houston Longhorn, the Wild-Eyed Southern Boys. And in the right corner, they are your JWF Tag Team Champions. They are Jeremis and the War Wizard. They are War Wizards.
All right, Tibbs, and you can see the War Wizards giving those prestigious titles off to Shibata, those titles that have been held by men like the VWO. Hold 'em high, Shibby!
Tag team wrestling is some of my favorite stuff in the sport, Sills. You never know what's going to happen, and it's just going to be absolute mania from this point on.
That's right, and let's not forget, this is a bar brawl. And I know what a lot of people on the internet are gonna say. Oh, this is just another Extreme Rules match. This is another no-holds-barred match. They just slapped a silly name on. Absolutely not, Tibbs. This match is about violence. This is not about clever pinning. This isn't about some sort of quick submission. In this match, the only way to win is to knock out your opponent completely, to a point where our referee says they can't wrestle anymore. And you gotta take them both out.
Plus, it's tornado style, so everybody's in the ring all at once, and you get an amazing thing that I like to call a clusterfuck of violence.
That's right, you see, Jeremis holding Sam Adams, War Wizard joins him for that big gut buster, but Houston Longhorn comes in at the last minute. But War Wizard seems to be holding his own against Houston Longhorn, a man who, let's not forget, was dominant in our developmental territory as JXT champion. Tibbs, it seemed he couldn't be defeated for a long time.
Exactly, Sills. And then he came up here to JWF. He joined up with Sam Adams, who in his own right has some great victories under his belt. They teamed up, and then they, of course, under the command of Spider Lockhart.
That's right. Let's not forget the history between Sam Adams and Spider, their current mentor. They rode the roads up and down, and Spider Lockhart eventually became a manager to Sam, even facing Sam in his very own retirement match, Tibbs.
Of course, Sills, which he kept to for all of 6 months.
He has returned once or twice for a few matches. Meanwhile, everything gets back in the ring, which means that it's going to be a hard road to keep track of all this, Tibbs.
It's, of course, Sills. This is any time you got a match like this with so few restrictions, so few regulations, and it's a tornado tag. You got 4 men in there doing their own thing all the time.
Oh, big backbreaker from the War Wizard, takes out Sam Adams, but Sam Adams stays in the match. And it looks like Jeremis, the first one to go under for some plunder, grabbing that steel chair and just wedging it in the corner, getting ready for some violence as he picks up Sam Adams. And oh wait, Sam reverses that Irish whip, sends him into the turnbuckle, and then the War Wizard just sandwiches Jeremis in. You can see Jeremis is being forced to roll out of the ring.
You know, Jeremis is a wizard. Was that a counter spell?
Now, Tibbs, I don't know if you noticed this. A War Wizard was setting up for that vicious Avada Kedavra clavicle breaker on Houston. And in order to stop Houston from getting hit, Sam Adams just kicked his own tag partner in the dick. Oh, but wait a minute. Oh, a beautiful seeker from Jeremis the Dope takes down Houston, and he follows it up with a beautiful moonsault.
All well and good, Sills, but those are targeting the midsection. Those are targeting different parts of the body. Honestly, in a match like this, you gotta go for the head or you're gonna be dead.
That's right, you gotta go for a limb. You gotta choose one part of your opponent's body to weaken down and wear down. And I'll be honest, Jeremis, he likes to go for these big, flashy moves. I wouldn't doubt if he's going to try to jump off that fucking ladder. But that is not going to cause that type of sharp damage that you need to really end this match.
Exactly, Sills. Now, if you were to take that ladder and smash it real hard on top of someone's neck, you might kill them, which might be a little too far. So maybe find a nice middle ground.
Why, it seems that Houston Longhorn was found in it, because, I mean, let's be honest, we were all very impressed. Jeremis hit the Snitch Seeker. He hit the Moonsault. It was very impressive, but Houston got up damn near immediately and started sending Jeremis's head into that guardrail.
It looks like Houston's down for right now, but no, he's starting to stir. You would have thought that after that vicious assault by Jeremis, he really is going to go to the top of that ladder, isn't he?
Oh, he tried, but Sam Adams did take him out, but a big European uppercut levels Houston Longhorn as he gets back in the ring. And now the War Wizard grabbing that ladder, but unfortunately Sam knocking it out of his hands. And it looks like the wild-eyed Southern boys are back on the assault as Sam nails the sobriety test. Houston with a pile driver. And Tibbs, this is the kind of stuff that they used to use back in those bar brawls to take out their opponents. And ooh, that big cattle drive neck breaker levels Jeremis. But unfortunately, Sam Adams has been forced to roll out of the ring. And now the War Wizard is doing something before picking him back up. Tibbs, he is feeling it. He's getting ready. And ooh, went for a big punch, but ooh, gets reversed by Houston, who just cracks him across the skull.
I feel like the War Wizard himself has to do a lot to hype himself up for those big knockout moves. It might be a little bit... Jeremis just fall flat on his face.
No, it was a knee drop to the back of the skull. It was a very vicious move. He definitely did not just fall off the top rope and eat it.
I'm going to take your word for it, Sills.
And now we've got us a car crash on the outside. Sam Adams going after the War Wizard. Oh, and nails him with the sobriety test. Meanwhile, in the ring, Jeremis on the top rope and went for the elbow drop, but it looks like Houston dodged it at the last minute.
It also looks like Jeremis may have taken a couple too many hits. You can see he's starting to slip a little bit, and that's dangerous in a match like this. where any one move could just knock you out.
Wait. He's got him up. Sneaker. That big kick. Let's see it one more time. Cracking in the skull of Houston Longhorn. And Tibbs, they sometimes call me Wrestling Nostradamus because Jeramis is getting ready to fly with that big moonsault once again.
I'm amazed that he was able to stand up after that so quickly, Sills.
That's right, and then nail a big kick at that, but oh no! Before he can hit the kick to the gut, Houston reversed and just starts working over the legs. You can see on the outside, unfortunately, War Wizard not in a good place as Sam Adams is just wailing on him with those big punches. Oh, but wait a minute, War Wizard picking up Sam and breaking him over the knee. And wait a minute, inside the ring, Houston Longhorn with a low blow. That low blow straight to the bits and pieces of Jeramis. And then, oh my God, just levels him with a pile driver.
Did you see the bounce on Jeramis's neck? That was unpleasant.
That's right, and it looks like Houston is not done yet, dragging him to the center of the ring and just wiping Jeramis's blood-soaked face into the mat before leveling him with that elbow drop. And things do not look good for Jeramis the Dope as he gets hit with a cattle drive, and Shabana is being forced to call for the bell, and you can see Jeramis's bloodied body just walking out of the ring. And Tips, I think the War Wizard is in a very dangerous spot right now.
This looks really bad for the War Wizard as it is, Sills. I mean, the War Wizards, they came in. This was gonna be their first time just coming out the gate, and they had all the odds stacked against them. I'm amazed at how well they were able to do, but this might be the...
Wait. He's got him up. Oh my God, and he levels him with a Vada Kedavra, just breaking the clavicle over the knee. You can see him drop it right there. Meanwhile, Houston was trying to get a sneak attack, that back suplex, but instead gets whipped into the ring post for his troubles.
I was about to say they might be in a little hit over their heads, but I don't know if there is such a thing for the War Wizard.
That's right. I mean, you got to think, though, the War Wizard definitely not in a good spot. He has eaten more than one sobriety test in this match, and you know that can take out the skull. My God! The War Wizard! That 500-pound frame just landing square on the jaw of Sam Adams. And Tibbs, Sam just flopped out of the ring.
You know, it would take 50 sobriety tests for you to find that kind of impact. It's impossible to imagine the size of the War Wizard landing on you in that one spot, all of it.
That's right. Now the War Wizard's setting that ladder up into the corner. And he's got Houston on the outside. You can see Sam Adams finally waking up, finally stirring after that vicious knee drop from the War Wizard. And Tibbs, I think the moment he saw Jeramis get eliminated was the minute the War Wizard really went on the offensive in this match.
It's almost like seeing his partner be taken down. It really lit the fire.
Wait, no! Pile driver! Pile driver to the War Wizard, and he is barely up. Houston being forced to drag him and then send him into that ladder, but reverses, and he has got Houston bleeding. And now, big elbow. He's trying to aggravate that wound, trying to knock out Houston Longhorn. He's got him against that ladder, picks him up. He's got him in a little bear hug, pops him up, and then, wait a minute! Oh my God! Reverses into a Vada Kedavra at the last minute. I think he was thinking about sending the body of Houston Longhorn through that ladder, but he realized, I've got him in place, I've got him ready, and he just nailed him with the most deadly of clavicle destroyers in JWF, that move known as a Vada Kedavra.
I will say this is just a fantastic showing from the War Wizards, especially the War Wizard himself being able to pull it out from the jaws of defeat in the Wild Out Southern Boys' own match.
That's right, just barely managing to secure the JWF Tag Team Championships. But Tibbs, you've been telling me a little lesson. Next episode of JWF Ignition, you're going to have some news about those JWF tag titles, and you're going to have to tune into the show to find out what that news is all about.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following event is scheduled for one clusterfuck and is set to occur in Birmingham, Alabama. Introducing first, he is the bearded man from the Badlands, the absolute Badlands, Scottye Moore! And in the other corner, sporting the modest plaid on plaid on plaid, the man with the plaid crown, the plaid is plaid on the plaid, the man who knows nothing about wrestling and everything about plaid, Blake Tanner.
I'm sorry, was I supposed to do something there? I thought this was just you two.
Oh,
no, that's Dylan. Hey, Dylan.
And we are the Fight Boys, and it's a show about professional and not so professional wrestling. Make sure to check us out, because when you're a fight boy, you're a fight boy for life. All right, Tibbs. Now, we have been talking about JXT, our developmental territory, all night. Talking about the standouts from there. The guys like the War Wizards, about Houston Longhorn, Fomo-San. This is a match that really started in the first graduating class of JXT, as this man, Blake Tanner, gets ready to take on one of his oldest rivals, Hollywood Hulcher.
Hollywood Hulcher, someone we never thought that we'd see again. Someone that honestly interfered in something Blake Tanner was trying to do, and I don't like the way he's looking at the audience, Sills. I just don't. I'm not really a fan of it. Not really a fan of what Blake Tanner's become.
That's right, a dark side of Blake Tanner has certainly opened up in recent months. I mean, he lost the JWF tag titles. He lost his group, his family, known as the Dynasty. This is the first time ever in the JWF we've seen Blake Tanner loose without anything tying him down from a title to a group. And Tibbs, let me tell you something, it is an unhinged version of this man.
It's almost like without anything to focus on, he just becomes like a rabid animal.
That's right, Tibbs. And now, coming to the ring is his opponent, a man who, like you said, we didn't think was ever going to be back in a JWF ring. We had called him up from JXT. He denied the call. Hollywood himself has admitted it was fear. He was afraid of failing here on the main roster. But Tibbs, let me tell you something. He has been nothing but success ever since coming here.
That's right. It's just
you really like that. You really like that dance, don't you?
It's such a funny dance. Although I really don't know how this is going to affect Blake Tanner's move. And honestly, I would say that he kind of feels like Hollywood's not taking this as seriously as he needs to.
That's all right, Tibbs. Well, I mean, let's be honest. I wasn't sure if you were going to be rooting for Hollywood because, of course, as we stated earlier, he was one of the men on your corporate espionage mission to Orlando. And, of course, he was not exactly liked backstage. Many people were not a fan. And, of course, it led to him getting kicked out. All four of you getting kicked out.
Well, I may have jaw-jacked a little too much to Paul, and they kind of found me out, Sills. I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. Well, Blake Tanner, you can see starting off like a house of fire, and this is the first ever submission match here in JWF Pro Wrestling. And as I've said on Ignition multiple times, normally in a submission match, there is a clear winner. There's one individual who's more adept at using an STO or a figure 4 leg lock. In this match, both of these men are well-known submission specialists. Hollywood Hulcher finishing numerous matches with that move that he refers to as the Walls of Hulcher. And then, of course, Blake Tanner is known for the Blake Panther, that vicious arm lock.
Right, Sills. And I will say, though, knowing that both of these men have spent a lot of time on their submission specialties, I would say that Hollywood's got the advantage here. We've seen him in JXT doing many different. He's won so many matches with the Walls of Hulcher.
And you can see he's trying right now with the stump puller, just trying to rip off the leg of Blake Tanner, Tibbs.
But he's really just preparing. He's getting ready to hit those walls, something that has destroyed other opponents, that has led to their utter demise, as it were, their deletion from existence.
That's right. Ooh, a big toss, though, from Blake Tanner, who climbs to the top rope. Could be going for something big. Let's see what Blake's got on his mind. Oh, went for the elbow drop, but Hulcher rolls out of the way. And you can see immediately grabs on and lifts Blake Tanner like it is nothing, Tibbs. And let me tell you something, a reverse suplex like that, 10 times more difficult than a normal suplex. Your spine wants to be straight. Your spine wants to go a certain way, and a normal suplex exploits that. The reverse one is just showing off the strength.
And honestly, it just goes to show this disparity in personality between these two men. It's almost like Hollywood Hulcher is out there having fun. He's laughing. He's enjoying this so much with genuine enthusiasm. And it's just serving to piss Blake Tanner off even more. The serious face that he's got going on with every punch, with every kick.
Well, I mean, Tibbs, you got to think, win or loss, this match has to be, oh, wait a minute, big bee sting from Blake Tanner levels Hollywood Hulcher. And now, instead just decides to wrench on the neck. I thought he might have been going for the Blake Panther. But no, as I was saying, win or loss, this match has to be vindication for Hollywood Hulcher. After he denied his initial call-up, many people thought Hollywood Hulcher would never be here again. But of course, many years later, many forgivenesses later, and Hollywood Hulcher has been brought back in this, his first match here on the JWF roster.
He's already proven himself to be every inch the competitor that you could imagine.
Skyliner! Hollywood Hulcher with the Skyliner levels him, and now wrenches back on the neck, just trying to break it off. Oh, but unfortunately, Blake Tanner knows that move all too well, quickly gets out of it, picks him back up. Beautiful clothesline to the outside, and Blake Tanner doesn't seem to be finished. Oh, went for the leg drop, but Hulcher rolls out of the way.
Hulcher seems to have scouted all of Blake Tanner's high-flying moves just so quickly. It's like he's able to roll out of the way just on pure instinct when Blake Tanner's getting ready to jump.
That's right, and Hollywood Hulcher getting back up, trying his best to get back to his feet as Blake Tanner has that table exposed. Who knows what kind of violence Blake Tanner could cause up there. And let me tell you something, I think, oh my God! Hollywood Hulcher was trying to come at him with that clothesline, and Blake Tanner with that massive European uppercut, then sends him into the table again. Blake Tanner's not done, Tibbs.
No, he's gonna get him right. He's gonna put him through that table like he's just a big old sack of potatoes.
Oh, big BDT just levels Hollywood Hulcher, sending him through that announce table. And Tibbs, let me tell you something, the damage that Blake Tanner is causing to the skull, the neck, the upper regions of Hollywood Hulcher could lead to his demise if Blake manages to lock him in that Blake Panther submission.
Yeah, he's done a lot of damage putting Hollywood Hulcher through the table. Now it's just a matter of capitalizing on it. And he's got a chair.
That's right, and you can see Blake Tanner with that chair. Oh, Shibata was trying to argue the point, but Hollywood accidentally knocked out Shibata. He's got him down, Tibbs. Drags him to the center of the ring. And Tibbs, we may be seeing the first attempt at the walls, and we are! He's got Blake Tanner locked in the walls. He is locked in the walls after distracting Shibata with that steel chair. Hollywood took advantage, and Tibbs, Blake Tanner's getting ready to tap.
Yeah, he's pulling the legs. He's wrenching the neck of Blake Tanner, and it just looks painful.
But sends him across the ring as Blake Tanner, and then, grabs him, just sends him down, and then, oh my God, Blake Tanner going after Shibata. He did not take kindly to his chair being tossed out of the ring.
No, Blake Tanner wasn't happy with his toys being taken away, but it's Shibata's job. You can't take it out on Shibata for doing his job, Blake Tanner.
And you can see him taking the chair away and Hollywood taking advantage, sending him into the ropes, but Blake follows it up with that big elbow strike before climbing to the top rope. He has not been successful up here so far, but can he nail it? No! Hollywood once again proves to be a perfect reversal specimen as he wrenches on that neck once again.
You see, Hollywood, he's still working on that neck no matter what. Every angle he's got, every chance he gets, he's working the neck of Blake Tanner. And that's good strategy right there. But he's just got
Bee sting! A bee sting from Blake Tanner levels Hollywood Hulcher. And Tibbs, let me tell you something. That focusing on the neck, I think that's a smart move from Hollywood. I mean, we saw this variation on the walls of Hulcher that he used. It more had his knee pressing down into the neck, adding to that pain. Usually he steps all the way over, but this time decides to incorporate the knee, and I think that little tweak could lead to his victory tonight.
Maybe so, Sills, because on the other side of it, it's like Blake Tanner's been going for straight damage, overall damage of Hollywood's body. It's not like he's focusing on one single area. It's just like he's trying to hurt him, which in any other match, I would say, is what your strategy is. It's what you're trying to do. But this is a submission match. This is about precision. This is about setting your enemy up for the perfect moment where you can wrench them into...
Tibbs, who? Let me ask you this. You said he made someone mad backstage. Do you think there's a certain individual that Hollywood made mad backstage?
I don't want to cast any name. I don't want to disparage anybody or say anything possible, but rate the room, Cells!
Another bee sting? Well, unfortunately, that name, that individual, may lead to Hollywood Hulcher's demise as Blake Tanner levels him with the Blakeout. And you can see Blake trying to get between the ropes, prevent Hollywood from getting to them before getting that rope break in. He's locked it in! The Blake Panther! Blake Panther submission. Blake Tanner is on a road to victory, but Hollywood Hulcher's managing to hold on. But Tibbs, I don't know how right now.
I don't either, Sills. He sustained so much. He's taken so much pain. But look, he's even starting to fight out of it. It's like he's... Oh! Hollywood Hulcher! Hollywood Hulcher has beaten the Blake Panther!
That's right, and he has him. He's got him into the turnbuckle. Don't know what Hollywood could be going for. Unfortunately, a big elbow. And then, breaks it off. Beautiful kick to the gut. And then the bulldog to follow it up. And Tibbs, Hollywood Hulcher is coming up on something big as he hits him with the Kyle effect. And then went for another one, but Blake gets out of the way, sends Kyle into the ropes, and you can see Kyle is staggering. Kyle is not sure what to do right now.
Kyle is Hollywood Hulcher's first name for anybody confused. I know I was.
Second Kyle effect. All right, but you can see Blake Tanner was trying to get ready for a back suplex, but instead, went for the arms, but no! Hulcher reverses, was going for another elbow. Blake reverses, Kyle reverses. Both of these men are on fire. Second elbow from Blake Tanner. Now, Hulcher sends him into the ropes. He's got Blake quite literally on the ropes and now is just picking him up from the outside, slamming him to the mat. But you can see Hollywood Hulcher, he was struggling to get up on that knee. He is looking a little bit worse for wear, but if he can level Blake Tanner with this big skyliner, it might be all over.
Yeah. At this point, you can see both men. Both men are straining. Both men are hurting.
Wait,
you gotta find a decisive moment.
Tibbs, it's right here. The Hollywood Hills. The move Hollywood had been telling me about for weeks. He's finally managed to hit it on Blake Tanner. He's dragged him into the center of the ring. He's picked him up. He is in the walls of Hulcher. And you can see Blake is struggling, but is forced to tap at the last minute.
That was it. That was great strategy on the part of Hollywood Hulcher. He never let up from the neck of Blake Tanner whenever he had a chance. Hulcher really had it in, even though he looked like he was being lackadaisic, even though he looked like he was smiling and laughing. He was always pinpointing his targets, and that is what led to his victory tonight.
That's right, and let's not forget, we thought this was all over when a certain individual may have come out and distracted Hulcher and allowed Blake to hit the Blakeout. to lock him in the Blake Panther submission. We saw the hand of Hollywood Hulcher getting ready to tap, but at that very last minute, he had that extra amount of strength come out in him, and it's what led to Hollywood Hulcher winning his first match here in JWF Pro Wrestling.
This summer, 2 men saved the world.
From who you ask?
Everything invading robo penises.
This show is not about those 2 men. This show's just a load of BS. The show where Blake Tanner and Scottye Moore make up dumbass movies like that. We're your personal think tank. We're your 2 white guys, which fills the quota for a podcast, I think.
And we're just gonna be here to have a good time and talk about sauerkraut.
That's right, except no substitutes, ladies and gentlemen, because this is that pure, uncut BS.
Good, uncut.
Okay, Tibbs, I know you brought Dylan with you too. Did Dylan make anybody mad? Did Dylan not sign a deal with anybody? Or are we good?
Sills, I want you to look at how this motherfucker is strutting down right now. I want you to think about the last few years he's been in this company, and I want you to tell me if he made somebody mad.
Okay, fair point. He is, of course, the self-pronounced technical spectacle himself. The former Lord of the Smart Side, the man known as the Dylan. But Tibbs, let's be honest, in the past we've seen Dylan as more of a brawler. He at one point did nothing but punch people in the dick. But in this recent month, he has become, like he said, a technical wizard. Using magnificent moves we have not seen in years in that wrestling ring.
I'm not really sure what led to this change in the Dylan. I'm not really sure I care to know. I really don't want him to tell me. I'm just happy he's not punching people in the dick, honestly, Sills. That's just all I'm okay with.
That's right, Tibbs, and let's not forget this match is, of course, the finals of the best tournament, an 8-man tournament that you devised to crown our brand new... Dylan's gonna attack him, ain't he?
What makes you say that, Sills? I don't know what you mean.
I just had an inkling, but, oh, wait, looks like... Oh, Guy clotheslining Dylan out of his boots! Guy Fieri was getting ready for that assault, Tibbs. And let's not forget, like I said, this match is to determine the winner of the best tournament, who will also be crowned our brand new JWF Captain's Champion, a title that has been vacated ever since WrestlePalooza.
Yeah, I'm just really happy that it's gonna go home to someone tonight, Sills. So I really care about.
That's right, you can see Guy Fieri was getting ready to end it early with that snack attack, but Dylan unfortunately cut him off the pass, was going for a suplex, but Guy, with another one of those big lariats, takes him down and just lays in the punches. And Tibbs, we know, Guy Fieri, he's got the fire. He has got the desire. He wants more than anything in this world to, for once, climb the mountain of JWF and actually reach its peak, and tonight might be Guy Fieri's night.
And if there's anybody who deserves it, it is Guy Fieri. If there's anybody who's always ready to put in the work, who can always make it to the top of any tournament that he's ever put in, it's Guy Fieri. He's just gotta get the win.
That's right, you can see he's already taken it to the outside, but let me be honest, I think he's trying to combat the brawling style of the Dylan, but this is a different Dylan, as we've stated. And I think this change in style is something Fieri's not expected. And it looks like Fieri's opting for a little change in style as he just hits that massive splash. 1, 2, ooh! Dylan kicks out, and Tibbs, that was That splash, I don't know many men who could kick out of that much weight coming down upon you.
No, but honestly, Sills, if there is one, it is the Dylan. He's got a lot on his own. His endurance is amazing. He can take a lot of pain, and that's all Guy Fieri loves to do is dish out pain.
That's right, and you can see Guy's got Dylan. He's got backed up in the corner and levels him with a spear. Maybe a little nod to our JWF, former JWF heavyweight champion, Mamoa Curry. But Guy just pulled Dylan's head up. He wants to finish this off.
Sills, I think this is really what Guy needs to do. This is the strategy he needs to pull off. He needs to get in there. He needs to get the win as quickly as possible.
Oh, no! He was going for that vicious food fight maneuver, but the Dylan reversed it at the last minute, but a big kick to the gut from Fieri reverses it once again, but Dylan just tosses the King of Flavor Town across the ring.
This is what I was afraid of, Sills. If Guy Fieri wanted to win this, if he wanted to end it quick, he had to do it before the Dylan started breaking down his defenses. And that's what every little bit of the Dylan's offense is going to be. Every time he hits something successful, it is going to be a vital move. It is going to be something that destroys and breaks down the foundation of Guy Fieri.
Wait a minute! Dylan's got him up! Total destruction to the skull of Fieri and just locks him in that keyhole lock. And you can see him just wrenching on it, trying to just rip Guy Fieri's arm out of socket, Tibbs.
And this is that new style of the Dylan, I suppose. I don't really see him go down to the ground like that very much. But if he's confident in it, then maybe it's something you should watch out for. The Dylan is nothing if not confident.
That's right, I mean, let's not forget, he dubbed himself the last true wrestler in the JWF on the latest episode of Ignition, but Guy Fieri looks like he's about to end that theory as he levels him with the snack attack, goes for the pin, 1, 2, oh, Dylan, barely right before Shibata's head was hovering above that mat, kicked out. And Guy Fieri, you can tell he is getting pissed, sending Dylan into the turnbuckle and, just nails him in the back. But Dylan seems to be reversing everything Fieri throws at him, but you can't reverse strength.
No, not at all, Sills. And it's amazing how strong both of these competitors are. Guy Fieri draws from a well of strength that I think is something that is hard to describe in the words of mortal men. But the Dylan...
That's right, but Dylan just drop kicking him in that tree of woe. All the blood rushing to his head and then nails him with the D trigger. And you can tell Dylan is exhausted, Tips.
Sometimes you don't need strength to get a real victory.
That's right. And now, was going for a second one of those big snack attack punches, but unfortunately, Dylan reversed with a big kick. But before Dylan could capitalize, Fieri wisely rolled to the outside, climbing to the top turnbuckle once again. Fieri opting to try to become some sort of high flyer, I guess, as he just, wait a minute, sails off into that big elbow down onto the cranium. Tibbs, you can just see the body of the Dylan crumple under the weight of Fieri, who looks like he is getting ready for something big. Bounces off the ropes, and then spear from Fieri, but he is not done. He's getting ready for it. Picks him up. But before he could hit it, before he could nail the food fight, Dylan reverses. And then grabs Fieri, and wait a minute, locks him in. He's locked him in. He's trying to choke out Guy Fieri in the center of the ring.
There's no way Guy Fieri's not going to go down to something like this. It was amazing, though, that Dylan used his own center of gravity against Guy Fieri. He was able to jump right out of that move.
But Guy picks him up. Food fight, center of the ring. 1, 2. Tibbs. Dylan is getting wily. Dylan getting out at that last minute. The resiliency of the technical spectacle. And it looks like he is getting ready to finish off Fieri, but Fieri stops him at the pass and levels him with that big lariat. And Tibbs, this is anyone's game right now. Both of these men looking poised, looking ready. As Fieri grabs Dylan, picks him up in that power bomb position. Don't know what Fieri could be. Guy? Oh my God! A darker side of Guy Fieri revealing itself as he just power bombed the Dylan 10 feet down onto the concrete.
Yep. Guy Fieri.
And now he has got those steel steps.
He's been going through so many powerful combination moves.
Oh, just jacks the jaw, but before Dylan goes down all the way, picks him up, and now food fight onto those steel steps. Tibbs, let's see that one more time.
This is the night. This is the night for the king of Flavortown. Look at that amazing spectacle he's put on for us.
And tosses Dylan into the ring. It is all over, but the hurting for Guy Fieri. Pop the champagne. 2, 3. Dylan just popped up like that was nothing, and Guy's not having it. He's just stepped on the body of the Dylan and starts wrenching on the neck, but I don't know if that is the wisest move to use against the Dylan right now.
I'm not sure, Sills. Guy Fieri tried to add some insult to the injury that the Dylan put upon him by kicking out.
Oh my God! Rock bottom from the Dylan, and he's locked him in the Anaconda Vice. Guy Fieri is locked in the Anaconda Vice, and he's tapped.
That was just out of nowhere.
Guy Fieri, in a mere matter of seconds, tapped out to that vicious Anaconda Vice from the Dylan. And Tibbs, that means your new JWF Captain's Champion is none other than the Lord of the Smart Side himself, the Dylan.
I have to say, it was amazing how the Dylan suckered Guy Fieri in. It was like he was waiting that entire match for that opportunity, that moment that he sees when he saw that Guy Fieri had an opening, when he could just lock that in. Hitting a rock bottom, going into that Anaconda Vice. That was a masterful combination by the Dylan.
That is right, Tibbs. But you gotta think what all he withstood. The food fight onto the steel steps, the multiple knockout punches. And Tibbs, he may not be everybody's favorite, but I think the Dylan is a captain's champion to be proud of.
Hey everybody, Captain Tibbs here, Commissioner of the JWF, and I'm here today to tell you about merch.alodapureBS.com/fightboys, where you can find all of your great merchandise for the JWF superstars that you love the most. Here we have t-shirts, tumblers, whatever you could want, where you can support your favorite superstars. We have things like the Blake Tanner anti-underdog shirt. We have the Captain Tibbs shirt with my beautiful face on it. Something with the JWF logo. Are you a fight boy or a fight girl? Doesn't matter, we got shirts for them both. And of course, my favorite, the Fight Boys tumbler glass. You can put anything in it, even Captain Tibbs' special drink. Whatever you want, find it over at merch.alodapureBS.com and look for the Fight Boys section.
All right, Tibbs, and you know what that sound means, what that theme song means. It is now time for the main event of the evening, as this man seeks to reclaim the title he made prestigious in the main event as Mamoa Curry takes on the JWF champion, Scottye Moore.
Mamoa Curry, he's got a lot to try to make up for tonight. After what happened at WrestlePalooza, he's been stewing on that. He's been becoming angrier and angrier at every turn. And honestly, Sills, I don't know if that's going to come to play positively or negatively for Mamoa Curry tonight. If he lets his anger get the better of him, then he might let Scottye Moore get under his skin in the way that Scottye Moore exactly wants him to. In a way that lets Scottye Moore overpower Mamoa Curry and keep his championship, which I bet is what he's betting on.
That's right, Tibbs, but I mean, let's not forget what Scottye Moore usually uses. He likes to go to the outside of the ring. He likes to waste time. He likes to use weapons to his advantage. None of that is going to be in the ring because, of course, it is going to be surrounded on all four sides by stainless steel cage. You can see it above Mamoa Curry right there, the plates connected together, keeping that cage together and hopefully keeping Scottye Moore from causing any shenanigans on the outside.
We can only hope, Sills. We can only hope.
That's right, Tibbs. But of course, let's not forget this all started last month at WrestlePalooza when Mamoa Curry faced off against his most hated rival. The longest rivalry in all of existence as he faced off against the Leviathan for the JWF Championship, but we know neither of those men walked out with the title. Instead, this man walked out. The former Mr. Cash in the Bag himself and our current JWF World Heavyweight Champion, the self-proclaimed hero of the JWF, Scottye Moore.
Scottye Moore, he came into WrestlePalooza at the very end. He stole the championship from whichever contender was gonna win it, and he's held on to it tight ever since. And it doesn't look like he wants to let go ever again.
That's right, Tibbs, and I'll be honest with you, it almost felt wrong to see Mamoa Curry walk out to this ring without that championship around his waist. He held it for over a year. One of the most dominant champions we've ever had in this company. And just to see Mamoa Curry without it at ringside, well, it brings a tear to the eye, Tibbs.
You know, it just really, it makes you think of some bad times in the world. And it just makes you remember when things weren't as great as they are now. And now they're bad again because Scottye Moore won the championship.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following match is a steel cage match for the JWF Championship. In the left corner, he is the god of the JWF, Mamoa Curry. And in the right corner, he is the self-proclaimed hero of the JWF and your JWF World Heavyweight Champion. He is Scottye Moore.
All right, and Tibbs, you can see Scottye Moore with a little bit of ego. They're just holding that title to the sky, almost acting like he earned it, that he deserved it. And let's be honest, I think he did. He inserted himself into one of the most highest profile. Hold it high, Shippy. He inserted himself into one of the most high-profile matches that there's ever been in the JWF. The Leviathan versus Mamoa Curry, two demons, two gods facing off against one another, and Scottye, a mortal human. Tibbs, could we not afford a good cage?
No, we had to put this together last night by just taking some of the scaffolding that holds the chairs up in the audience. So don't tell anybody that. Those chairs that might collapse at any moment.
Tibbs, there's rust. I can see rust on this. That is not safe.
I'm pretty sure they've had their tetanus shots.
Well, looks like Scottye Moore is going to give a shot of reality to Mamoa Curry, picking him up in that powerbomb position before just slamming him down. And Tibbs, you got to think that's a little insult to injury for Mamoa Curry, who is known for using that big powerbomb. It looks like Mamoa's trying to seek some revenge right now. Went for a kick, but Scottye stops him at the pass with that big lariat. And let's be honest, this is the first real challenge for Scottye Moore. This is for Scottye Moore to prove that what happened at WrestlePalooza was not what many claim to be the heist of the century, but instead what he claims, which is the hero of the JWF getting what he deserved, but not if Mamoa Curry has anything to say about it.
And that's the only way Scottye Moore can prove it. He's got to go through Mamoa Curry one-on-one, fresh as a newborn babe, not hard fought from fighting his brother almost to the death.
That's right. I mean, like I said, I did have to admit Scottye was brave for inserting himself into that match, but let's not forget that was after a vicious 10-minute match. That was not a fresh Mamoa Curry. That was not a fresh Leviathan. And you can see Scottye Moore quickly trying to take the easy way out, yelling at Shibata to just try to open that steel door, but Shibata not giving in. And it's allowed Mamoa to take advantage with that big Momoan drop.
You know, Sills, I tried to weld that door shut so he wouldn't have one, but the fire marshal stopped me.
You can see Mamoa nearly getting his way up to the top, but Scottye Moore stopping him off at the pass. But Mamoa with a big kick to the face keeps him phased, but he drops down. Momoa's looking for something big, sends Scottye into the turnbuckle and just clotheslines him in the back of the head for his efforts. And it looks like he is getting ready to show Scottye Moore how a power bomb is really done with that big maneuver, and Momoa's starting to feel it too.
Yeah, when he gets you for that power bomb, he lifts you high, he grabs you, and he just crushes your thighs with his biceps as he slams you into the ring. It's a very painful power bomb that Mamoa Curry's concocted.
That's right, he went for an early pin, but Scottye Moore quickly kicked out of it. We've said that Scottye Moore may not be on the same level as Mamoa Curry, but we've seen in the past that Scottye Moore is certainly a capable competitor. But, reversed that Momoan punch into a big heel kick. And now you can see Scottye trying to begin the ascent. After reversing that Momoan punch, and Scottye is trying his damnedest to get up there, Tibbs.
And that's the beauty of this kind of match, a steel cage match, Sills. Is you can, if you escape from the cage, you're the victor. This can end up benefiting Scottye Moore in more ways than it could potentially benefit Mamoa Curry. Scottye Moore can get a good hit in on Mamoa Curry. It doesn't matter if Mamoa would have kicked out of it or not if he tried to pin him, because Scottye Moore's just got to escape the cage.
And nails him with that big SMG, but you can see Scottye going for the pinfall. But Mamoa barely kicks out, and you can see the lack of the pure look of surprise growing across Scottye's face, and he quickly calls for that door to be open, because I think Scottye Moore is aware that he is in there right now with a caged beast, a caged animal, and Shibata has got the door open. Scottye Moore trying his best to climb out, but Mamoa from behind grabs him, and Scottye is just struggling for his life right now.
He's so close to escape, so close to victory, but you got a tiger grabbing onto your arm and not letting go.
That's right, you can see Scottye planting his foot, holding it against the cage to try to prevent Mamoa from bringing him in, but that big shot to the gut unfortunately allows Mamoa to send Scottye Moore into the ring. And now Mamoa once again begins his ascent, and I'll be honest with you, Tibbs, I was not expecting this sort of tactic from Mamoa Curry in this match. He is definitely in the past seems like he has wanted to bring vengeance to this match. Vengeance to Scottye Moore for what he did to his family at WrestlePalooza. I wasn't expecting Mamoa to try to make a quick escape.
You know, Sills, I think for Mamoa Curry, the most important thing about this, to show his complete victory over Scottye Moore, is to have that championship in his hand, to prove that Mamoa Curry is the rightful champion of the JWF. And I think he's willing to do anything to prove that and to show Scottye Moore up, even if it means escaping the cage and not defeating Scottye Moore outright.
That's right, you can see Mamoa had that leg dangling over the side, but unfortunately Scottye Moore is right there just laying in the shots, and now he's grabbed the leg and is dragging Mamoa back into the ring, and you know that can't feel good for the god of the JWF.
No, it's when you're trying to escape from this cage.
Momoa's head cracked against the ring, and Scottye takes advantage with that big elbow drop. And wait a minute, what is Scottye Moore doing? He's backed up in the corner, and then, he tried for the spear. Oh my God! Mamoa Curry reversed it into a DDT, and Tibbs, that might be the damn near fastest spear I've ever seen in my life. He didn't even wait for Scottye to get back up.
No, it was turnabout being fair play, Sills.
But Scottye kicks out at 1.
I don't think either of these men are willing to be put down in this type of match so easily.
That's right, but Mamoa has picked him back up. Mamoa with a clothesline, and then a second. He is feeling it, bounces off the ropes, and then just, massive clothesline to Scottye Moore. But Mamoa once again
That's right, Sills. He's trying to escape. Mamoa is... I honestly don't understand what he's got on his mind here. Maybe it's seeing Scottye Moore kick out of his spear at 1. Maybe it's just him really needing to win that championship, but he's putting himself in such a vulnerable position right now that Scottye Moore can take advantage of.
That's right. I mean, let's not forget, earlier in the match, Scottye hit the SMG. Mamoa kicks out. Scottye tries for a quick escape. Mamoa obviously was thinking the exact same thing in that moment. But unfortunately, Scottye once again drags him back into the ring. That was a second time Mamoa Curry had that taste of escape, that taste of victory as he dangled that leg over. But unfortunately, it just didn't seem to prove to be enough. You can see both men fighting it out on the side of the steel cage. And Mamoa ducking a punch and sending Scottye's head into the metal, into that rusted steel. But Scottye fighting back once again and sends Mamoa to the mat, Tibbs.
You know, Sills, I'm amazed that Scottye Moore's able to put this kind of fight up against Mamoa Curry, but it's like they both only care about escaping more than anything. They both tried.
Wait a minute. Scottye Moore, you say that, but Scottye Moore just got back in the ring. I think Scottye Moore wants to pin Mamoa Curry to the mat once again. Let's not forget, in the past, Scottye Moore has never been pinned or submitted by Scottye Moore. I think in this moment, Scottye's just trying to add some insult to this match.
More power to him if he can. I would just say go with the escape if you got it. Honestly, when you're in that championship position, you're willing to do anything it takes sometimes to win it. But if this is Scottye Moore really trying to prove himself, that's completely different than the man that we've seen in the past.
That's right. And now Scottye Moore, he's got Mamoa backed up against the ropes. Mamoa is not in a good place as Scottye Moore chases after, bounces off, and nails that massive SMG. We've seen it in the past. Scottye Moore just flying through the air like it's nothing, Tibbs, and sending Momoa's head careening into the mat. And Tibbs, that might be it. But wait a minute, Scottye is not done. He has got Mamoa up once again, looking to finish things off with a Scottye kick, but Mamoa ducks it and then grabs him in an arm wringer, but Scottye quickly gets out and nails him with that heel kick. And you can see, oh wait, Scottye immediately climbing that cage once again, but oh my God, went for a dive and Mamoa catches him as Scottye dives from nearly 10 feet off of the ground, off of the side of that steel cage, and he finds nothing but fist waiting for him.
That's right, that amazing Mamoan punch, and it's just
oh my God, and Scottye Moore barely kicking out 2 3/4, and you can tell Mamoa is frustrated right now, and he's got no choice. But once again, I think both of these men don't want to win by escape right now. They're trying to get some vindication. Mamoa in that moment could have easily tried to leave, but instead stayed in the ring and nails a second Mamoan punch. And he's backed up into the corner. And Tibbs, we know what that is signaling. The spear! Spear! Spear!
This is Mamoa Curry seeking retribution, vindication, everything all at once against Scottye Moore. And he's trying to... Look, he's going for the escape on this one.
That's right. I think he's learned Scottye Moore could easily... Oh, no! Instead, opts for more punishment. Goes from that high spot down into that elbow drop. Into a second one. He is just trying to destroy Scottye Moore. Tibbs, I think what you were saying earlier was right. That anger, that fury of Mamoa Curry is getting the best of him right now. And he is losing sight of what's at hand.
It's almost like, yeah, he's seeing red right now, Sills, when instead he should be seeing his path to the championship. Mamoa, this is not like you. You can't let your emotions run wild like that.
That's right. Sends Scottye into the turnbuckle. Massive lariat. Mamoa. Oh, look, he was trying for an escape, but instead, once again, stares down at Scottye Moore, and now is just trying to break the back of the champion. And you can see Scottye Moore, he's got nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and Mamoa releases.
He could have held on to that.
This is most certainly a darker side of Mamoa Curry than we've seen in the past. A different Mamoa Curry, but unfortunately, Scottye Moore levels him with that SMG. Goes for that quick pinfall once again, but Mamoa kicking out. Both of these men know each other so well. But, oh wait, Scottye went for the super kick. Mamoa catches it. Both of these men reversing each other's moves, but Scottye finally gets him with that super kick, Tibbs, and he has got the former champion bleeding.
These combinations, you can see they're both fatigued. Scottye's got to end this quick if he wants to retain the championship.
Super kick from Scottye Moore. And you can see he's thinking about it. He's thinking about calling for that door, trying to get Shibata to open the door, but instead hits the drop kick. Mamoa rolls out of the way, but levels him with a lariat. But what in the world is Mamoa thinking? Or I'm sorry, Scottye Moore, he's trying it again, Tibbs. He's backed up. Spear! Spear! Spear from Scottye Moore!
He's been wanting to do that all night still. So he's tried it 2 other times. He's finally hit it after Mamoa Curry is bleeding. And I think that's what Scottye Moore wanted to do to end this.
That's right, and you can see Scottye Moore calling for the door, but Mamoa Curry gets back to his feet, and before he can hit the spear, stops him at the pass, but a second clothesline backs him up. And now Scottye cheering to the crowd, but I don't think this is a wise move to do right now. Scottye went for the super kick. Mamoa ducks it. Mamoa trying for a suplex. Scottye backs out of the way, goes for a reverse, goes for the SMJ. Mamoa stops it. Then super kick to the skull. And Tibbs, Mamoa is not in a good place right now. His face is bloodied. It is battered. It is bruised. And Scottye Moore is just getting slapped in the face, I guess. Mamoa with the ultimate show of disrespect. And unfortunately, I think that disrespect might be his downfall right now as Scottye picks him up, whips him into the turnbuckle. And oh no, Tibbs. Oh, massive knee to the top. And I think that slap did nothing but piss off Scottye Moore, who nails him with a final SMG. And Tibbs, he said he was going to do it a few weeks ago on Ignition. He said that he was going to bash Mamoa Curry's skull in and walk out of that steel cage. And unfortunately, he's done exactly that tonight.
Mamoa Curry probably in no condition to stop him either. He was trying, but he wasn't there quick enough. Wasn't there in time after being beaten and bloody. It looks like he has not succeeded in his attempt. And Scottye Moore walks out with the championship.
That's right. You got to think the blood covering the face of Mamoa as well. It had to have blocked his vision, stopped him from seeing Scottye Moore getting that cage door open. It wasn't until the very last moment he realized what was going on. But Tibbs, that was one of the most shocking moments of the match right there. Scottye Moore actually hitting Mamoa Curry with the Fisherman's Spear. A shocking moment in the history of the JWF for this man. The man who retains the JWF World Heavyweight Championship, and a man who proved that WrestlePalooza was not the heist of the century, but perhaps the crowning of the hero of the JWF. It's Scottye Moore, Tim.
Scottye Moore, Mr. Insult to Injury himself, retains over Mamoa Curry.
That is right, Tibbs. And speaking of retaining champions, earlier tonight we saw the War Wizards retain their titles in an epic bar brawl against the Wild-Eyed Southern Boys. We saw a new champion crowned when the Dylan defeated Guy Fieri with that vicious Anaconda Vice maneuver. We saw Hollywood Hulcher best Blake Tanner after months of jaw-jacking. And we saw perhaps a friendship formed as Fomo-San teamed up with the Hammerman to take out the man who will of course only be known as Paul. Tibbs.
Fucking Paul, goddammit, ruining my show.
But of course, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, remember to check out JWF Monday Night Ignition. Find it on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. It's where you can catch up on all your storylines. It's where you get to hear that amazing announcement about our tag titles coming tomorrow night from Captain Tibbs. But until next time, Tibbs, it's been one hell of a pay-per-view.
And one hell of a night to announce JWF's resurrection.
That is right, Tibbs. So, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, he's been Captain Tibbs. I've been Silver Spoon. This has been JWF Resurrection, and we will see you next time.